I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you're wasting your time or you're letting people waste your time, you're losing money. There is nothing to gain financially when you waste time. As they always say, time is money. If this is the first time you're joining me, my name is Mel. This is Team U Finance, where we talk about leveling up, we talk about financial growth, and self-motivation. Okay, so let me explain exactly what I mean when I say you're losing money because of time. Sometimes you have people that willfully try to waste your time because they know you're about to have a come up. They know you're about to, have a breakthrough. They know things are going to start happening for you. And let me give you an example of how that works. Say, for example, you're there working on a project. You have some people that'll pick up the phone or, they'll call you every single day, once, twice, 3 times a day, absolutely talking about nothing. They know you're busy, but because they want to waste your time, because they're selfish, they constantly keep calling you on the phone. Mind you, you've explained to them several times that you're busy or doing things, but they don't care. Because at the end of the day, their goal is to distract you and take you away from, leveling up and gaining some type of, financial freedom, depending what you're working on. So if you're dealing with somebody like that, you basically, as I always say, you got to cut the cord and continue working on your project. Those type of people, they're basically looking for free therapy. They're looking for people to listen to them, for people to vent to. But at the end of the day, they waste your time because, it takes you from doing what you want to do. And if it's a case of switch where you need to, talk with them, they don't have any time for you. It's just all about them. Those people are very selfish. And if you allow selfish people to waste your time, it's a lose-lose for you. There's no gain. Another situation where time management is essential is especially, when you're in a relationship. And what I mean by relationship, I mean, some type of, intimate relationship with someone. You can spend years and years with someone. You can spend months, days, weeks, or years, as I said. And at the end of the day, when everything is said and done or everything is over, you didn't gain anything. You basically wasted your time. You wasted your time. You didn't get nothing in return. All those years you sat there, made all those sacrifices. It was not even worth your while. And it wasn't worth your while because all that time you genuinely invested and you thought the person was with you, but in reality they weren't really with you because y'all didn't have any growth together. And this is where time management should have came in. While you were sitting there trying to grow with this person, wasting your time, or you thought you were investing your time, you could have assessed yourself and say, listen, hey, this doesn't really seem to be working out. There's got to be another avenue for me to take. You don't need to sit there and waste your time with anybody who's not going to want to see you grow in any aspect, whether it be on a personal level, professional level, or even a financial level. And that's what I've always said, like, if you allow people waste your time. Some people waste your time on purpose. Some people waste your time, unintentionally. They don't even know they're doing it because remember, they're wasters themselves. And so because they're wasters, they think everybody else is a waster. They think everybody else wants to waste their time. But you got to gain control of that and realize when people are wasting your time. Another place or scenario where people tend to waste your time is basically when you're at your job. Now, you could be at your job, you and the person doing the same type of job with the same people in the office, and they constantly come over and try to distract you. They try to get you from doing your job. They keep coming over to your cubicle, telling you all sorts of nonsense, bringing all sorts of drama, trying to distract you from doing your work. Those people are time wasters. Remember, you're only at your job for a certain amount of hours a day. And if somebody's willfully or maliciously coming over there, whether they're calling you or coming to your desk or even just passing by and trying to waste your time, that person's not in your corner. They don't want you to keep your job. Now, the funny thing is when they come to waste your time, maybe they already got their job done. And now because they got their job done, they want to keep wasting your time. You don't need to, let yourself be subjected to that. You got to learn how to stop distractions. Now, some of you might say, oh, well, it's a friend of mine. It's somebody that I know. Whether it be, the person that calls to waste your time, whether it's the intimate relationship or it's even the job. It doesn't matter what aspect it is. If you allow somebody to waste your time, you're essentially losing. And many times when you wake up and realize that your time was wasted, you tend to have regrets. So to prevent yourself from having any more future regrets about time being wasted, you basically have to learn how to balance your time, and you got to learn when people come or when situations present itself where it's going to be a time waster, you got to learn to basically discern and move away from those situations. You got to stand strong and do it. Now, as far as time management, this wasn't something that I always had in my adult years. I went through periods of time where I just couldn't understand why, my time is being wasted or I'm not achieving certain goals that I need to achieve. But when I finally, I guess caught wind of it, or I guess I got more mature, I realized that not only was I wasting my time, but it was more so the people that I was rolling with that, wanted to waste my time. The people wanted to waste my time because I imagine, after discerning, as I said before, they didn't want you to grow. If somebody knows you're trying to do something and they willfully trying to take you away from what you want to do, there's no way they want you to grow or succeed. So as I said, you have to be able to manage that effectively. Now, what are some ways that you could essentially manage your time? But before I go on, I'm going to ask you again if you could please like, comment, and subscribe. Would really appreciate the support. Again, subscribe to Team You Finance. Now, what are some ways that you could start managing your time? Well, I'll tell you what I did to manage my time. First thing that I did was, and I'm a big fan of this, of journaling. I literally got a journal, got me a little marble composition book, and I wrote down all the things that I wanted to do. Be it I wanted to change jobs, I wanted to travel, I wanted to buy something, I wanted to, whatever it was. I wanted to start a new project. I literally journaled it down. And once I was able to journal it down and I saw in writing what I wanted to do, I said to myself, okay, how am I going to get these things done if I never have any time to do what I want to do? How am I going to set my schedule? How am I going to set my hours? So the first step is you really need to write it down and look at it in black and white and see exactly what you want to accomplish. And then once you write that down and you set it, then you're going to put basically the goals that you want to accomplish for that time. That's one of the first things. The second thing, and again, this all piggybacks to money. With everything in life, in our adult life, it's all based on the income that we have. So if you don't have a plan as to how you're going to get those things done financially, it doesn't even make sense. You have to literally put it down on paper, as I said, and then you have to start saving or working towards that financial goal. Okay? Again, time is money. If time is on your side, I don't care how much money you have saved or how much money you're investing, into a project, it's not going to work. When I was coming up, they always said time is longer than rope. I don't know what they meant by that, but I can imagine that a piece of rope is very wide, it's very long. So at the end of the day, if you could surpass that long piece of rope, then I guess you'd have time on your side. That is the ultimate goal. That's what you have to do. And another suggestion that I have for managing my time is just stop wasting your time trying to get people to see what you're doing. Stop investing in them. Invest in yourself. Use your time wisely. Stop wasting your time on people's projects. Stop wasting your time listening to people's problems. Stop wasting your time dealing with, unhealthy coworkers that want to distract you from doing what you need to do. Those are the three facets that I basically had to clean up in my life. And once I did that, I was able to see and manage my time better. Time is money. Time is essential. Once it's passed or once it's elapsed or it's gone, you can't get it back. And I've had people say to me, oh, Mel, I wish I can get a couple years back. I wish I could go back, 5 years, because if I could have gone back 5 years, I would have done this, I would have done that. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. And as I always say, in my prior videos, we got to move on. You already lost some time or stuff didn't work out prior to you seeing this video or what have you. Keep it moving. Don't beat yourself up. Because at the end of the day, now your mindset is clear. You realize that you're going to have to manage your time wisely and much better. You're cutting out all distractions. I believe that everything is going to, turn out well in the end. Again, if this is the first time you're joining me, my name is Mel. Please subscribe to Team You Finance, where we talk about, finance, self-motivation, and leveling up. If you got this far in my message, I thank you so much for your attention and your time. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.